This story came up a couple of days ago, and it horrified me. You know that I'm not much of a dog person. I'm not a cat person either, but I'm not really a dog person. I'm a people person. And this is so sad. There's a restaurant in San Francisco that is now serving dogs filet mignon in what is considered to be the first eatery designed only for dogs. This is not like you go to the cafe and they have a little puppy bowl of water and treats or whatever. The restaurant is only for dogs. It's called Dogue, D-O-G-U-E, like Vogue, Dogue. And it launched in September in the Mission District in San Francisco. And the meals include several courses, and they cost $75 per dog. I kid you not. Costs more money to feed a dog at this restaurant than most people pay even at a nice restaurant to go out and eat themselves. It does include a mimosa and a pastry for the dog's owner, but the real food is for the dogs. The dog plates have items such as chicken skin waffles, filet mignon, steak tartare with quail egg. Ooh, that sounds nice. And some of the food, is relatively affordable. It can get up to $95. Why? Why is this happening? It's happening for one reason and one reason only. It's because people are not having children. And so they are treating their dogs as their children. I'm not opposed to dogs. I don't really like them and I don't intend to get one, but I'm not opposed to dogs. They're fine in theory. I like them in theory. But I really don't like dogs when the dogs are treated like children. And that's what has happened in our society. People don't want to, they think that they don't want to have kids because they think it's too much responsibility and they think it's too expensive and they think they're not in a state in life where they can, and they'd have to make the commitment to get married, ideally. And, it's just too much responsibility and commitment. Man, I'm just going to start out, I'm just going to get a dog. It's the same thinking that as people say, well, I don't want to get married right away. Maybe I'll just move in with my girlfriend. Just kind of, it's a lesser step. I can get out whenever I want. It's less responsibility. You can't, take a kid to the shelter. You're not really supposed to. You can take a dog to the shelter if it's too much. So I'm going to do that, and that'll be a lot easier. But the practical effect of that is you don't have less responsibility, really. People treat their dogs like children. They spend every bit of time that they would spend on children. They just channel all that time toward their dogs. I know people who get babysitters for their dogs to come over for their homes when they go away and sit with the dog for days on end and spend all sorts of money on the dog's vet and the grooming and the food and the filet mignon and everything, okay? And this is what they think about cohabitation. They say, oh, well, I'm just going to move in, but then it's not as much of a commitment. It's not going to be as intense as getting married. But it is just as intense. You are living with this person. You're very often putting the same amount of energy and emotional investment and money even into that. You're just not getting the fruits of it. So you're putting all the same amount of money and time and care into your dog, but the dog's not going to take care of you in your old age. You're not going to see your smile reflected on the face of the dog. You're not going to get little doggy grandchildren someday. You're not going to get to go to your doggy's ballet recital. You're not, and even now, it's really sad. People will take their dogs to doggy daycare, and they'll get little certificates for your doggy completed this task, or your doggy jumped through the hoop today. And so you just can't deny your human longings. And so what people are doing is they're not avoiding that emotional and financial expenditure. They're just putting it in a dead-end place. Same thing with cohabitation. You're not avoiding the financial and emotional expenditure. You're just putting it into a place where there's much less stability, where the whole thing could fall apart, where it's not designed to grow and grow your family and grow your life. And people just need to grow up and save the filet mignon for the adults. Save the filet mignon and the quail eggs for me, okay? Because I can appreciate it much more than a dog. And stop. You're not going to avoid civilization and society. You're not going to avoid the way that life has been lived for millennia, okay? We think that in the modern age, we think that Everything that came before us was really dumb and stupid, and we figured it out. Sometime in the mid-1960s, we figured it out that all the people that came before us were dumb idiots and they were totally wrong, and we've reinvented the wheel, and we're just so smart, and we can avoid all of the eternal questions and natural longings of human beings. And it's not true. It's not true. And the more we deviate from the wisdom of the ages, and the more we channel our desires into bizarre places, the less fulfilled we're going to be. Stop it. Give your dog a bone and you eat the filet mignon. That rhymes. Now, I don't know very much about polling, so I'm going to invite on a master pollster, Robert Cahaley, to tell me what I should know going into the midterm elections. The rest of the show is continuing now. You don't want to miss it. If you're not a member, click the link in the description and join us.